My name is Jimmy and I've decided to make some straps for my friend Jay's pedals. And I looked online and they were about $40, so I decided that I could probably make my own. And I think that you probably could too. So a few things that you're going to need to do this is one, a nice heavy duty pair of scissors that can cut through all this stuff. A lighter, you'll need this to, when you cut the nylon edges, you have to kind of light it to keep things from fraying. And then some sort of ruler where you can kind of measure things down. And then you're also going to need a sewing machine, hopefully something that's heavy duty enough to sew through a couple layers of this stuff, and this one seems to be able to do the trick. So I went to the fabric store and you're going to need a couple of things. I got 2 yards of this nylon black webbing, it's 2 inches wide, so I got 2 yards of that. I've got a yard of Velcro, and I've got the heavy duty Velcro, and I got this stuff that's sticky on the side so that when I put these on there it makes it a little bit easier to sew without it falling out of place. The other thing that I got was some 1-inch nylon stripping, the orange stuff here, and I got that just to accent things, and it turns out I actually needed it too to kind of reinforce things and stiffen them up a little bit, so I got a yard of this as well. And it all cost about $10, and hopefully I'll be able to make a pedal strap for Jay that looks good for pretty cheap. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is actually cut our material. So I cut one 18-inch, that should be good for most people. If you have really small feet, you could probably do 17-inch. If you have gigantic feet, you could do 19, but 18 seemed to be the length for me. So one 18-inch strip here. I also cut another 8-inch strip of this. An 8-inch strip of the orange webbing that I've already sewed on here. We're going to take our Velcro, we're going to cut a 4-inch segment of that, and I can actually do that right now. Measure it and cut. This stuff will end up cutting in half. And then also another 5-inch piece of Velcro, which I've already cut. When we cut our material here, we do need to take the lighter and kind of buzz these edges. You'll see them curl up, and that's just to keep it from fraying. And if you touch it with your fingers, it'll stick to your fingers and kind of burn you, so be careful there. I'm just kind of pulling it to stretch it out and keep its normal shape. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start cutting this 18-inch strip in half. And we want to cut about 11 inches into it. And so that's what I did, I just measured it with my needle there. Now I can come from this side and cut right down the middle all the way up. These are going to be the pieces that go in between or go through the pedal and slide through and then eventually come around and Velcro onto the other side of the strap. And again, once we do that, it's going to want to fray on us. So we'll just hit it with a lighter. Alright, now we're going to take that 4-inch piece of Velcro that we cut earlier. We're going to pull it in half. And we're going to set the soft side aside. And we're going to take the side with all the little hooks. We're going to cut that right down the middle. You don't want to use your fabric scissors for this because you are cutting through plastic and it will dull them, so you need something heavier duty that isn't just for cutting fabric. Once you've got those cut, you can pull it off, and we're going to stick it right on the very end of our strip. And we'll go back and sew this later, but for now, we'll just stick it right there. And the adhesive really does make it nice because now we can just hit it with the sewing machine and it will stay right in place. Next, we'll flip that over. So now these hooks are facing down on the mat, and we've got our other 4-inch piece, the soft side. And we're going to put this almost to the edge, just barely not at the edge. Now what we want to do actually before we sew it is to take that 5-inch piece that we cut earlier, pull it in half, and we're going to cut the soft side. So we're going to cut that soft side in half. We're going to leave the hook side all together because that's going to go on another piece. So right down the middle, these have that adhesive backing. We're going to peel that off, and these also are going to go right on the very end of our straps. And once we've got those stuck in place, we're actually going to sew them on there, and that way they won't come off when we actually need them to stay on. I've decided to use black threading for this, so black on black, it will hide my bad sewing or any sort of mistakes. I've also used the heaviest duty string that I could find. It's upholstery string, and I'll just... Alright, and then at the very end there I just went over it a couple extra times back and forth to make sure that my knots looked real good. Okay. And just like that, I've got this sewed on. Doesn't have to be tons and tons of stitching. I just did a rectangle all the way around it, and I'll do the same thing for the rest of the sides. Once we had our long 18-inch piece, we cut it up 11 inches down the middle. We glued our soft Velcro side, the 4-inch side, up here. Over here, we had cut our 5-inch soft Velcro side in half, so soft and soft are on the same side. When we flip that over, there's no Velcro up here, and then we have the hook side of the 4 inches over here. So we had another 8-inch piece of this webbing, and what we did with this 8-inch piece is we took the hook side to our 5 inches of Velcro. I put it right in the middle. After I did that, I took our side and I just folded it over, and I sewed it on one side just like this over here. And then what I did, just to kind of make things look a little bit better, is I put a black stripe right around the top and folded it over on the end there as well. So this will be our top piece. And what we're going to do is we're going to start sewing just about ½ inch above our cut right there. And we're going to sew just this bottom part on, and then we'll be looking good. And what I did there was pretty fast. All I did was do a straight line across the bottom, a straight line across the top, and a little X between the middle. And that should get us nice and secure on there. Then I went back and forth and I did it 2 times. So we've got a nice tight strap, and right now we should have our soft pieces facing up on the one strap, and then this little strap sewed right on top. And soon these pieces will come around and we'll fold like that. We actually could be done right here, but we're going to do a little reinforcement and a little stuff to give it a little bit of structure. The next thing that we're going to do here is just try to give us a little bit of extra structure. So what I did is I just took one of these 1-inch pieces right here of webbing. I folded it in half and I sewed it down the middle, just so that we have kind of a nice stiff piece. These are 8 inches long, or a little bit short of 8 inches, but they're going to fit right in here. We'll start it right where the Velcro ends. We've got the hook side up here. We're going to start it right where it ends, and we're going to sew it right in the middle all the way till we get to the top right here. And this is just going to give these long skinny pieces some structure and make them a little bit more durable. If it doesn't look pretty, it's not a big deal. But we've got 2 long straps reinforced on the middle. This will be the top over here. Our finished product will fit right into our pedal like this. So we've got these 2 straps sticking out the outside of the pedal. You can see the axle right there, kind of at that V. And all you're really going to want to do is put your foot on the pedal. This flat part goes over the top. Strap there. Strap there. And that may be strong enough, but we built this extra good looking strap instead. And now we've got our finished pedal strap. Goes right on our pedal like this. So in the beginning we had 2 yards of material like this, just nylon webbing that's 2 inches wide. We had 1 yard of industrial strength Velcro. You can get it at the fabric store. We got the sticky side. And then we got 1 yard of this orange color here. You can get any color you want. We just did that to kind of make it look a little bit better. And 1 yard pretty much took up all of the orange stuff. We've got this much of the black webbing left over, not enough for another strap, but enough Velcro to do another strap. So if we wanted to go buy some more, we wouldn't have to buy any extra Velcro at this point. And hopefully you'll have a happy friend named Jay with some pedals at work and look real good with his bike. And hopefully it's not too hard. I'll put the instructions and the patterns on the web as well. And hope it works.